everybody. We are in the Tuesday, May 11th Bug Refinement biweekly short meeting, a small meeting, I should say, today with Sean and I. So I guess we could start with the first topic, what matters to large customers. So I added in the three things that are relating to ongoing work for a large prospect. There's a releases API fix that we needed that was already created. We've already been able to pull it into the environment. There's an issues fix needed and an MRs fix needed. The issues one, there is a fix already created that we just need to validate, and the MRs, the last I saw it was still in progress and not yet ready for validation. Is there anything else you're aware of here that matters, or do you want to talk about these?
No, I have an update on the MR one. So the
great.
MR one, yeah, the MR one is with the maintainer, and so Robert has worked quite a lot on this actually.
Yeah, he's been working on a lot of these.
Yeah, well, so Robert's got he's got a strong background in caching, and surprisingly at GitLab we haven't incorporated a lot of caching so far, and so he's got implemented a caching with Gary's with working with Gary,
great,
a caching solution, and I believe it's currently with the maintainer. Yeah, it's with maintainer. So
okay,
hopefully could be merged soon.
Okay, fantastic. Cool. And those both issues and MRs, from what we could see in our performance testing for this POV environment, they were really close. They were only about 85 milliseconds over the target, which was a very ambitious target that the prospect set. So they're already performing fairly well. And our assumption on our side was that, those last milliseconds that you're trying to shave off are really difficult. Hopefully the caching helps. That's a great solution. But our assumption is that these may not be successful and we may not have any reduction in the sales team is working on the messaging for that. There's still very good performance.
Yeah, I think we have on the MR. I think we are seeing a good change.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, I do have a question about this actually. So we're looking at these measurements being made in the customer's test environment.
Correct.
Right, it's not the 20K or any of those environments. It's their own environment. Okay.
Yeah, it is a 50K, roughly a 50K reference architecture. We built it on their hardware, and we have access to their network to be able to get to it and run tests on it.
And the repositories are real repositories of the customers, or there are some test repositories?
Test repositories. It's the same ones that we use for our ongoing GPT tests that we do daily against architectures.
Yeah. Okay, so it's basically the 50K environment on their infrastructure. Okay.
Yeah, and they're looking at, we test against P90, they test P95. We have some different RPS. They have a slightly lower RPS than we test against, so there's some give and take there. But otherwise, it's mostly a 50K environment, mostly the GPT runs. If we see an improvement on the GPT, our assumption is we'll see it here too.
Maybe we don't have this information, but do we think once these three are kind of sorted out, is that going to be it, or do we expect to see more over the next weeks or months?
For low test performance, these are the only ones.
Okay.
There are other endpoints that are performing poorly in the general GitLab ecosystem, but this prospect is only interested in a subset of about 12.
Okay.
And those 12, other than these, are performing great.
That's great. Oh, that's great news.
Yeah. There are other issues that are coming up now to do with like Italy failover and webhooks and things like that. But for performance, we seem to be in a pretty good shape.
Okay. Yeah. And so then I had a look at the board, and we've got two Sev ones on the board that are being looked at. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what do we typically do with these, because it seems like they're not kind of, well, when I've worked with the Sev ones in the past, it's like drop everything, it's a Sev one. But I think these are kind of like being scheduled, and is that, I guess I'm asking the question, is that okay?
It should be in the same milestone. We have an SLO of 30 days, as far as I'm aware, for Sev ones.
Yeah, so sorry, the first one's in 1312.
Yeah, great.
And then the other one I think has been, if you look at the comments, and I guess I'm just asking for, yeah.
Yeah, I think in It's an SLO and an SLA, so it's not strict that you have to drop everything. It's
I see.
highly encouraged to please address as soon as possible, but we know that there are competing priorities, especially right now in the org. Um,
Okay, so it is different than, for example, if we had a critical error where the system was. Sorry, I'm looking at the second one. Improve performance of issues list on search with Search API under load into the next
yeah,
tier. So yeah,
10
I think it's
seconds.
already missed. It has missed.
Yes.
So realistically, I think 14.0 is as soon as we'll be able to get to this. So I guess I'm just asking for advice. Like, what do we do now? Do we pick that other group, or it seems like they do have it, and it's on their radar?
Yeah, it seems like they do have it maybe at the beginning of 14.0, which in our meeting in 2 weeks would be right at the right time. We could ping them again and just say, please, we hope that you'll be able to address this in
Okay.
14.0 since
Okay. Right.
it's really poor. I mean, that's 10 seconds.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we should take an action item here to bring it up next time.
We do, we do actually have. I mean, I've just noticed anecdotally that search is not great in general.
Yeah, it's been improving, but it's still
It has been improving.
not
Absolutely,
great. Yeah.
it works now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I added an action item here, and I'll make a template for the next meeting and add it
Yep.
to the agenda there.
Okay.
Okay. Excellent. So transient bugs.
Yeah, I thought Grant might be at this meeting. Does he come sometimes? I think he's on the list.
Grant Young?
Yes.
Yes, he's out of office today.
Oh,
Otherwise, I
okay.
think usually he does attend.
I was going to ask him about this one because so basically it seems like a number of endpoints suddenly really slowed down, and Robert from my team has actually implemented a fix. My question is, if you look in the issue, Robert was questioning whether this was happening on production or happening only on our test environments. Because if you go down to the graph of production, it's still not great in production, like at 750, but it's a different graph than what we're seeing in earlier in the issue.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that clearly something's happened on the 28th, like it's just spiked up. So so Robert has tried to work out what it was. He can't see anything that we've specifically done. He's wondering if it's something in Gitly. And I'll ping them as well, because if that's it just seems a bit odd that it's not happening in, well, maybe it is happening, but it doesn't seem visible on this graph in production, and yet we've got this massive spike in test.
Strange. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to ask Grant what he thought about it.
Yeah, and there's an extra data point here. We noticed this spike up at the same time that the releases fix came in. And so there was some theorizing on our side if that fix somehow pushed some calculations or something. I'm not familiar enough with the system to know. And it could just be a totally random coincidence that they happen on the same day.
Yeah. The releases fix was done in Ruby, right? It wasn't. Was there also a Gitly change?
There were 3 fixes. There was one of which was caching. The last one was caching. There was n+1, I think 3 n+1s that were fixed.
Yep.
And then I think I don't know what the middle one was, but they were all Ruby as far as I'm aware.
Okay. Yep. Well, who knows? It's a monolith.
Yeah,
it seems strange it would affect the other endpoints, but it could.
Yeah. So I saw that it's 3 days ago that Robert posted on here, and Grant was out yesterday as well. He should be back tomorrow.
Okay.
So hopefully.
Yeah. So what's happened is Robert's actually found an MR. He's got in there, or sorry, he's not found. He's created an MR, and he's found a reduction of 150 milliseconds, which is great anyway.
Yep.
So if we perhaps find out what the root cause is, and this MR is also applied, then we'll see quite a good drop.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Branches was performing pretty well prior to this, as far as I'm aware. I don't think there was any performance issue open for it. I think it was below Yeah, usually it was around the 100 to 200 millisecond mark. So
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah,
Because, well, in
really
that case, it's
performant.
quite high in that case at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And heavily used. Yeah.
Yep. So Grant should reply there tomorrow.
Okay. Cool. Anything else? What else we got?
I don't think so.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. Excellent. Should I stop the recording?
Sure.
Cool. Bye, everybody who's watching.